second book from Trial Guides, I will often quote Bruce Lee's famous statement, "Be water, my friend." How does that relate to trial? Well, if you worked with me, you know that I don't take any cookie-cutter approach to any story that must be told. That is, sometimes you can begin with the defendant's story, and sometimes you must begin with the plaintiff's story. So recently, one of my friends, Atlanta attorney Kenan Nix, spent the first 10 minutes of his opening statement focusing on the beginning of his client's victor story. Now, countless trial lawyers and consultants would probably gasp in horror, confident that defeat would follow, but Kenan's jurors returned his client an $11 million verdict. "Glenda," Kenan says, "when you look at this picture, what do you see?" This is his opening. "When I look at this picture, I see a picture of me. Because even though I look normal on the outside, I really feel like damaged goods on the inside. So when I look at this picture, instead of seeing damage to a car, I see a picture of what happened to my body. But when people look at me now, they see the old Glenda on the outside and have no idea just how much things have changed on the inside. And that for me is the most frustrating thing of all, because now I have a brain injury on the inside. And what you see is not what you get. And all is not well that looks well." So then Kenan continues to say, "May it please the court, counsel, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, welcome to Glenda Williams' new reality from inside the soul of a human being that has been forever changed by a violent collision, regardless of what appears normal on the outside." Year after year, I work with attorneys who get 6, 7, and 8-figure verdicts by leveraging the victor story to break all the rules at trial. Some deliver opening statements that last minutes, others that last hours, literally. Some of the lawyers I work with even start their case by talking about their client, not the defendant. Lawyers who are invested in old ways of thinking will tell you that this is dangerous, irresponsible even. You must do things this way or that way, and if you don't, any positive verdict is merely an outlier. But here's the thing. My clients' positive outcomes aren't outliers, not in my work at least. I see over and over again how trusting and telling the victor story enables lawyers to take the kind of risks that would send most trial consultants into a cold sweat. And I see over and over again how those risks pay off in big numbers on verdict forms. Because when the person sitting next to you at trial is a victor rather than a victim, the jury isn't forced into a lesser of two evils analysis. Victors are humble, resilient, and inspiring. Rewarding them is no threat to jurors. It is not an evil at all. This leaves only one evil in the courtroom, and that's the risk of an unaccountable defendant. And when you free the jury of the choice of deciding which lesser evil to choose, you free yourself of the necessity of focusing on the defendant's conduct early, often, and always, and thus the alchemy of the victor story. Check out the book. Keep watching these videos. I'm glad you're here.